My child, stop. Do not scroll past this. You are seeing this because you are standing at a critical crossroads, and I need to warn you, you are already very late. The window is closing. Archangel Michael says, I am not here to scare you. I am here to wake you up. Right now, at this exact second, two futures are forming in front of you. And if you do not pay attention to this message, you might unknowingly walk down the wrong path. You feel that? That weird pull in your chest? That sudden awareness that made you click on this message? That's not random. That's me trying to get your attention before you make a move you can't take back. Listen to me carefully. There are two paths in front of you right now. You can't see them with your eyes, but your soul knows they're there. One of these paths leads to everything you've been praying for. The other one? It leads to more of what you've already been through. And here's the thing. You're about to choose without even realizing you're choosing. I've been watching you lately. I've seen how tired you are, how confused you feel, how you keep asking yourself, is this all there is? You've been going through the motions, haven't you? Waking up, pushing through, pretending everything's fine while your heart's been screaming for something different. And now you're at the point where your soul is ready to make a shift. But here's what you don't know. The shift doesn't just happen. You have to choose it. And the choice is happening right now in ways you're not fully aware of yet. Let me explain something to you. A crossroads isn't always dramatic. It's not always some big, obvious moment where you have to pick door number 1 or door number 2. Sometimes a crossroads is quiet. It's a thought you entertain, a conversation you have, a small decision that seems like it doesn't matter. But it does. It always does. Right now, you're being pulled in two directions. One direction feels safe because it's familiar. It's the path of staying where you are, doing what you've always done, hoping things will somehow get better on their own. The other direction feels uncertain because you can't see where it leads. But I can. And I'm telling you, it leads to breakthrough. You've been standing in this in-between space for weeks now, maybe even months. You feel stuck, but you don't know how to move forward. You want change, but you're afraid of what it might cost. And that fear? That's what keeps most people on the wrong path their entire lives. But you're different. I know you are, because you're still here listening to me. Something in your spirit knew to pay attention to this message. That knowing, that's your soul recognizing the crossroads. Here's what I need you to understand. You don't have forever to make this choice. Life is going to keep moving whether you're ready or not. And if you don't consciously choose the path that leads to your breakthrough, you'll unconsciously drift onto the path that keeps you where you are. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to wake you up. If you feel my presence and are ready to listen, type 111 to open the channel for this message. Because what I'm about to tell you next is going to show you exactly what's on each path and why one of them is about to close if you don't move fast. Stay with me. Don't scroll away. The next part reveals what I see when I look at your future. Let me show you something most people never get to see. The two versions of your future that exist right now in this moment. I can see both timelines clearly. One where you choose fear, and one where you choose faith. And I'm going to be honest with you. They look completely different. In the first timeline, you stay where you are. You keep doing what feels safe. You keep waiting for the perfect moment to make a change. You keep telling yourself, maybe next month, or when things calm down, or after this situation resolves. And you know what happens? Life keeps happening. Days turn into weeks. Weeks turn into months. And before you know it, a year has passed and you're standing in the exact same place, just a little more tired, a little more disappointed, a little more convinced that maybe this is just how your life is supposed to be. The opportunities you're sensing right now, they fade. The connections that could have changed your direction, they move on to someone else. The breakthrough that was within reach, it circles back around, but not for another few years. And the whole time, there's this quiet ache in your chest, the feeling that you missed something important. I'm not telling you this to hurt you. I'm telling you because I've seen this timeline play out for too many people, and I don't want to see it happen to you. But here's the other timeline, the one where you choose differently. In this version, you feel the fear, but you move anyway. You hear that whisper in your spirit telling you to step forward. And instead of talking yourself out of it, you listen. You make a choice that doesn't make sense to everyone around you, but it makes perfect sense to your soul. And everything starts shifting. Not all at once. Breakthrough doesn't usually work that way, but you start noticing things. Doors opening that weren't open before. Conversations happening that lead somewhere important. People showing up at the right time with the right information. Your intuition getting sharper. Your confidence growing. Your path becoming clearer step by step. In this timeline, you look back a year from now, and you barely recognize the person you used to be. Not because you became someone different, but because you finally became who you were always meant to be. You know what the difference is between these two timelines? One decision, one moment where you chose courage over comfort, one instance where you trusted your soul more than your fears. That's it. That's the crossroads. And here's what you need to know. I'm not just watching you stand at this crossroads. I'm standing here with you. I've been clearing obstacles you don't even see yet. I've been moving things into position behind the scenes. I've been preparing the path that leads to breakthrough. But I can't make you walk it. That part is up to you. You might be thinking, but Michael, I don't even know what decision you're talking about. What am I supposed to choose? Listen to me. Your soul already knows. There's something you've been feeling pulled toward, isn't there? Something you keep thinking about but then dismissing. A change you know you need to make but you keep putting off. A risk you need to take but you're afraid of what might happen. That thing right there, that's the crossroads. And the choice is simple. Do you keep playing it safe? Or do you trust that your soul is guiding you towards something better? If you are choosing the path of light over fear, type "I choose light" to seal your decision instantly. Because what I'm about to reveal next will show you exactly what happens the moment you make that choice. And I'm telling you, it's bigger than you think. Stay with me. Don't scroll. Let me tell you what happens the moment you make the choice to step onto the breakthrough path. First, you're going to feel resistance. I need you to be ready for that. The second you commit to change, I mean really commit, not just think about it, but actually move toward it. Everything around you is going to seem to push back. Old fears are going to get louder. Doubts you thought you dealt with are going to resurface. People in your life might question what you're doing. Circumstances might look like they're working against you instead of for you. And here's why that happens. When you start moving toward your breakthrough, you're disrupting the energy that's been keeping you stuck. You're breaking patterns. You're stepping out of the familiar. And your mind, your environment, even the spiritual realm, they all react to that shift. But listen to me carefully. That resistance isn't a sign you made the wrong choice. It's confirmation you made the right one. Because comfort never fought to keep anyone. Comfort doesn't need to. But breakthrough requires you to push through the very things that have been holding you back. That's why it's called a breakthrough. You're literally breaking through barriers. I've seen people get right to the edge of their miracle and then turn back because the resistance felt like rejection. They thought, this must not be meant for me because it's too hard. But that's not how it works. The struggle before the shift is part of the process. So when you feel that pushback, I need you to remember this moment. I need you to remember that I told you it was coming, and I need you to keep moving anyway. Because here's what happens once you push through that initial resistance. Clarity starts flooding in. You're going to start seeing things you didn't see before. Connections that were always there but you couldn't recognize. Opportunities that existed but weren't visible to you yet. People whose paths were supposed to cross with yours, but the timing wasn't right until now. Your intuition is going to sharpen. You'll start knowing things without knowing how you know them. You'll get gut feelings about which direction to go, and when you follow them, they'll lead you exactly where you need to be. Doors are going to open, sometimes in ways that feel almost miraculous. You'll be in the right place at the right time. You'll say the right thing to the right person. You'll stumble into something that turns out to be exactly what you were looking for. And the most beautiful part? The things you were stressing about. The situations that felt impossible. The problems that seemed too big. They're going to start resolving themselves. Not because you forced solutions, but because you got into alignment. And when you're in alignment, the universe works with you instead of against you. Here's what I need you to understand. All of this starts with one choice. The choice to trust what your soul is telling you. The choice to take the first step, even when you can't see the whole staircase. The choice to believe that the path leading to breakthrough is worth the discomfort of leaving the familiar behind. You've been standing at this crossroads long enough. You've been weighing your options, analyzing every angle, trying to figure out the right move. But the truth is, you already know what you need to do. You've known for a while now. The only question left is, are you going to do it? If you are done waiting and ready to break through, type 333 to break the chains of fear. Because what I'm about to tell you next will show you the signs that will confirm you're on the right track. And trust me, you're going to need to recognize these signs when they start showing up. Don't go anywhere. Stay till the end. Now let me tell you how you'll know you made the right choice. Because here's the thing. Once you step onto that breakthrough path, you're going to need confirmation. Your mind is going to want proof that you didn't just make a massive mistake. And I'm going to show you exactly what to look for. The first sign is going to be a sense of peace that doesn't make logical sense. Think about it. You just made a decision that probably scared you. You stepped into uncertainty. You chose change over comfort. By all accounts, you should be anxious, right? But instead, you're going to feel this strange calm. It's not that you won't have moments of doubt, you will. But underneath those moments, there's going to be this steady knowing that says you did the right thing. That peace, that's your confirmation. That's your soul telling you that you're finally aligned with your true path. The second sign is synchronicity. Things are going to start lining up in ways that feel too perfect to be coincidence. You'll think about someone and they'll call. You'll need information and it'll show up in a conversation you overhear. You'll wonder about something and the answer will appear in the next article you read or video you watch. These aren't accidents. These are breadcrumbs. The universe is showing you that you're on the right track by making your path clear one step at a time. Pay attention to these moments. They're telling you something important. The third sign is going to be unexpected support. When you make a choice that's aligned with your soul, people who are meant to help you will appear. Sometimes they're new connections. Sometimes they're old friends who suddenly show up with exactly what you need at exactly the right time. Sometimes they're complete strangers who say something that shifts your perspective in a major way. You're going to look back and see how these people were positioned in your life right when you needed them. That's not luck. That's divine orchestration. That's me and the spiritual realm working behind the scenes to make sure you have what you need for this journey. The fourth sign, and this one's important, is that your old life is going to start feeling uncomfortable. The people, places, and habits that used to feel normal are going to start feeling off. Not because they're bad, but because you're outgrowing them. You're evolving. And what fit before doesn't fit anymore. Some people are going to notice you're changing, and they won't understand it. Some might even resist it. That's okay. Not everyone is meant to walk this new path with you. And the ones who are, they'll adapt and grow with you, or they'll celebrate your growth from a distance. Don't let the discomfort of outgrowing your old life make you think you made a mistake. It's supposed to feel uncomfortable. You're expanding, and expansion always means leaving something behind. The fifth sign is going to be obstacles that resolve themselves. Remember how I said you'd face resistance at first? Well, once you push through that initial pushback and commit to your breakthrough path, you're going to notice something interesting. Problems that seemed impossible start finding solutions. Situations that felt stuck suddenly shift. Doors that were closed crack open just enough for you to slip through. It won't always be dramatic. Sometimes it'll be subtle, but you'll feel it. That sense that things are moving, flowing, working out in ways they weren't before. If you receive these signs and claim my guidance, type 444 to acknowledge the angels around you. Because what I need to tell you next is going to prepare you for the one thing that trips most people up even when they're on the right path. And if you're not ready for it, it could make you doubt everything. Stay with me. This next part might be the most important thing you hear today. Here's what nobody tells you about choosing the breakthrough path. Right before everything shifts in your favor, you're going to face one final test. And this test is designed specifically to see if you really mean it, if you're really committed, if you're really ready for what's about to happen. I'm telling you this now because when you're in the middle of it, it's not going to feel like a test. It's going to feel like failure. It's going to feel like you made the wrong choice. It's going to feel like maybe you should turn back while you still can. But that feeling, that's the illusion. Here's what the test usually looks like. Right when you think you're making progress, something happens that makes it look like you're going backward. Maybe an opportunity falls through at the last second. Maybe someone you were counting on disappears. Maybe circumstances shift in a way that seems to block your path. And your mind is going to scream, "See? I told you this wouldn't work. You should have stayed where you were. At least that was safe." But let me tell you what's really happening in that moment. The universe is checking to see if you trust the process more than you trust your circumstances. It's testing whether you're going to let temporary setbacks convince you to abandon permanent breakthrough. This is where most people quit. Right here. Right at this moment, when they're actually closer than they've ever been. They see the obstacle and think it's a dead end. But it's not a dead end. It's a detour that's actually shortcut to something better than what they were originally going after. I've seen this pattern play out countless times. Someone makes the brave choice to step into their breakthrough. They start seeing signs. They feel the momentum building. And then, boom, something happens that looks like a setback. And they panic. They think they misread the signs. They convince themselves they should go back to what was familiar. And they miss the fact that the setback was actually removing something that would have limited their breakthrough. They miss the fact that the delay was actually perfect timing protecting them from something that wasn't ready yet. They miss the fact that the closed door was redirecting them to a better door they didn't even know existed. Here's what I need you to remember when you hit that moment. You will hit it. So listen carefully. Circumstances lie. Situations are temporary. What looks like failure today might be the setup for your biggest victory tomorrow. Your job isn't to have all the answers. Your job isn't to figure out every detail. Your job isn't to make sense of every twist and turn. Your job is to stay on the path, even when the path doesn't make sense. Because here's what I see that you can't see yet. The breakthrough you're walking toward is bigger than the version you have in your head right now. You're praying for one thing, but I'm preparing something better. You're hoping for a specific outcome, but I'm orchestrating a miracle that's going to exceed what you thought was possible. But you'll only get there if you don't quit during the test. So when that moment comes, and it will come, I need you to take a breath. I need you to remember this conversation. I need you to remind yourself that the resistance you're feeling is not rejection. It's refinement. It's not a sign you're on the wrong path. It's confirmation you're on the right one. If you promise not to quit during the test, type "I am strong" to show me your courage. Because what I'm about to tell you next will show you what's waiting for you on the other side of that test. And I promise you, it's worth every uncomfortable moment you're about to walk through. Stay with me. We're almost there. Let me paint a picture for you of what life looks like once you push through that final test and fully step into your breakthrough. First, you're going to experience a level of clarity you haven't felt in years, maybe ever. All those questions that kept you up at night, the ones about your purpose, your direction, your next move, they're going to have answers. Not because someone handed you a manual, but because you'll finally be able to hear your own inner guidance clearly. The confusion that's been clouding your mind will lift, And in its place, you'll have this strong sense of knowing. You'll wake up with direction. You'll move through your day with intention. You'll make decisions with confidence because you'll trust yourself in ways you never have before. Your relationships are going to shift too. Some people are going to fade out of your life naturally, without drama. They're just going to drift away because you're no longer a vibrational match. And that's okay. That's actually beautiful. Because at the same time, new people are going to appear. People who get you, who support you, who challenge you to keep growing. The connections you form after breakthrough are different. They're deeper. They're more authentic. They're built on who you actually are, not who you were pretending to be. And that makes all the difference. Your opportunities are going to multiply. This is the part that always amazes people. Once you step fully into alignment, doors don't just open, they fly open. Things you tried to force for years suddenly happen effortlessly. Opportunities you couldn't have imagined show up out of nowhere. Your path becomes clear not because you figured everything out, but because you're finally in the right position to see what was always there. And here's something interesting. You're going to stop chasing. You'll shift from pursuing to attracting, from hustling to flowing, from forcing to allowing. And somehow, you'll end up with more than you ever got from trying to make things happen on your own. Your inner peace is going to become unshakable. Not because your circumstances will be perfect. They won't be. But because you'll have this deep knowing that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You'll trust the process. You'll trust yourself. You'll trust that even when things don't make sense in the moment, they're working out for your highest good. The anxiety that's been your constant companion, it's going to quiet down. The worry about the future, it's going to ease. The fear that you're going to mess everything up, it's going to lose its grip on you. You'll still have moments of uncertainty. Everyone does. But they won't control you anymore. They won't paralyze you. They'll just be passing feelings that you acknowledge and then move through. And maybe most importantly, you're going to remember who you really are. Not who life convinced you to be. Not who you had to become to survive. Not who you thought you should be to make other people comfortable, but who you actually are at your core. All those parts of yourself you've been hiding or suppressing or apologizing for, they're going to come back online. Your creativity, your passion, your unique way of seeing the world, your natural gifts, all of it is going to resurface. And instead of feeling like you have to dim your light to fit in, you're going to shine exactly as you are and attract people who love you for it. This is what's waiting for you on the other side of the crossroads. This is why I've been standing here trying to get your attention. This is why the choice you make right now matters so much. If you claim this new life and abundance, type "I claim it" to lock your blessing. Because this final part is going to tell you exactly what to do next. And I need you to pay close attention because timing matters here. Stay with me. Let me show you your first step. All right, listen carefully. You've heard everything you need to hear. You know what's at stake. You know what's possible. Now comes the part where you actually move. And I'm going to make this really simple for you because I know your mind wants to complicate it. Your mind wants to figure out step 17 before you've even taken step 1. But that's not how this works. Here's your first step. Acknowledge the crossroads. Stop pretending you're not standing at a decision point. Stop acting like you don't know something needs to change. Stop waiting for absolute certainty before you make a move. You're at the crossroads right now. Say it out loud if you need to. Admit it to yourself. I'm standing at a crossroads, and I need to choose. That simple acknowledgement is more powerful than you realize. Your second step. Identify what you've been avoiding. There's something you know you need to do, a conversation you need to have, a change you need to make, a risk you need to take, a truth you need to face. You know what it is. You've been knowing. You just haven't wanted to look at it directly. Look at it now. What's the thing your soul keeps nudging you toward that your fear keeps talking you out of? That's your path forward. That uncomfortable thing you don't want to do? That's probably exactly what you need to do. Your third step. Make one move toward it today. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Not after you've analyzed it from every possible angle. Today, right now. It doesn't have to be a huge move. It can be small. Send the text, make the phone call, research the thing, take the class, have the conversation, apply for the opportunity. Whatever it is, do one thing today that moves you closer to that breakthrough path. Because here's what happens when you take that first step. The second step becomes visible, and then the third, and then the fourth. You don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need to take the first step, and then the next one reveals itself. Your fourth step. Pay attention to what happens next. Watch for the signs I told you about. The synchronicities, the support that shows up, the doors that open, the peace that settles in your chest. These aren't random. These are confirmations. These are me and the spiritual realm showing you that you're on the right track. And when you hit that test I warned you about, because you will, come back to this message. Remind yourself what I told you. Remember that resistance doesn't mean rejection. Remember that the struggle before breakthrough is part of the process. Here's what I know about you that maybe you don't know about yourself yet. You have what it takes. You're stronger than you think. You're more capable than you give yourself credit for. And the life waiting for you on the other side of this crossroads, it's worth every bit of courage it takes to get there. I'm not going to be standing at this crossroads forever. At some point, you're going to make a choice, whether you choose actively or passively. And my hope for you is that you choose actively, that you choose courageously, that you choose the path that leads to breakthrough, even though it's the scarier one. Because the version of you that exists a year from now on that breakthrough path, they're going to thank you for choosing bravely today. If you have chosen your destiny today, type Amen 777 to seal this pact forever. I am with you. My beloved child, you do not walk this path alone. I am placing my seal of protection over you right now. If you wish to keep receiving my guidance, join this family of light by pressing the subscribe button. Not to follow a channel, but to stay connected to this frequency. Go now. Be brave. Your new life has already begun. I love you, and I am with you. Always. Amen.